you have to trust humans. That's just a fact of life. And unfortunately, there's going to be people that don't like things about them. But you still give them dignity and respect and all. But what I have noticed with technology, there's been shift from like the 90s or 2000s to today. There's so many glitches and technology seems to be entrapping humans in these explaining moments where it's us glitch-splaining away something, and it becomes so routine that if it was a human, you would fire those people. You know, if I had an assistant here keeping the logs, I keep my own logs, which are right here, paper logs with driver notes. But I would fire that person if he or she was doing the job equivalent to what this device here is. It's down to 14 minutes. I don't know if you can see that on the DOT time. And that is absolutely, totally inaccurate. And it's a glitch. And I don't want to go through the whole mode versus function and why it's a glitch, except to say it's 10:17. I was at that mechanic shop at 7:35 and pulled out of there in about 45 minutes to an hour. So I am wide awake. I have been driving less than 2 hours. It's before lunch, and I had that thing in sleeper because the unfortunate coupling device of the main electrical harness and cord for the trailer had splintered off at one of the 7, you call it a shard or nodes. But basically metal points that deliver the charge. And so because of that, because those male-female coupling broke off, I literally was in the sleeper digitally, waiting for them to wake up, get to work, open it up at 6 a.m., service the people ahead of me, and then this truck got serviced, and I'm pulling out. Dad, 5 kids, a minimum income that I have to earn now. Okay, this is where the digital glitches become just too cliche. And when you have big companies compared to like subsidiarity, 1 or 2 people assigned that know what specifically is going on, because in communications, 2 areas, hey, why did the load not make it? Well, you didn't know your truck is at the repair shop, 1. 2, like, the glitch is about to trigger the logs department, and somebody brand new for the day assigned, as far as like fresh set of eyes on the situations, they'll look at it and probably call me, and that's okay. So I'll expect a 2 to 5 minute call, maybe, if I can't get this thing to reset and correct itself to line up with what the law says. And the law is written in the front of these paper logs. So it's a formula. It's not real complicated. But 14 hours of work, 11 is the driving time. I have 14 hours from when I first start. And if I'm forced into a split or a break, it should not happen until after 8 hours. So I should have 8 hours of work, including drive time. This glitch is going to make me waste another phone call, and unfortunately waste in a sense because I'm aware of it, but I'm making you aware of it, so it's not a waste. That by philosophy, organizations need to be prepared to change and expect a higher percentage of glitches because of AI. And it's not to blame the advancement of technology, it's not AI's fault, to the extent that AI is learning, and there was a plethora of different coding languages, platform code programs, and types that have been used. So AI is basically flexing and basically fluxing out information as it processes the string code, and it's converting it from one form to another many times. So these tablets, when it's got 4 different apps that are requisite for your minimum duties, and it's got like 3 or 4 others, a training app, it's got a library app. Those are not necessarily essential, but when they're on different platforms like that, they're not populating and communicating the requisite information. They're populating and communicating the litigious or the necessary administrative information. So I'm saying I think tech has reached a efficiency tidal wave of sorts where it's going to come crashing down if you don't have enough humans in place. That sounds odd, but I have been driving this truck in this. I am a certified genius, and I could have gone and done other jobs, but I could have gone and done a computer program or applied for Gazette work, journalism work to be paid. But I chose to do this because I wanted to start a trucking company. I think it's the most profitable way to bless 3 generations and people with gainful employment that is value laden as well. But anywho, the point is just be mindful. So that's a distance warning there, and that's not a bad warning. But there are some distance warnings. I got one earlier that's thrown off. I'd say it's about 20 to a third of the time, 20% to a third of the time that it's distracting. Though this is not accurate. I didn't need it there because I was paying attention. So that threshold's there. And it's proven in logistics because the big companies that have good products and established names, they're not trying to have anything novel. Okay, they're selling essential goods to the consumer. They are still competent people oriented with clipboards, 3-ring binders, sign initial, they're one-pagers. And that's with people there, personnel to do their specific narrowly tailored job. And it actually saves, I think, time and money. The more technology, I go to one particular big box online company to deliver for them, but I think that the technology is handicapping progress, and they can't see it. Because we're not here to serve machines, like the tech. The tech is here to supplement us in our pursuit for happiness. Shift that philosophy and try to vacuum out of and otherwise extort from the common corpus of people, and that's your primary human resource as a nation and as a business. Those are your most valuable assets. I was thinking earlier, my goals exceeded 2,000 drivers for a day. The company, of course, survive the day after and thrive. But just the value of us being able to secure that amount of freight for people. Say that we have the tractors and the trailers, and you can put your stuff in there, and we'll put a competent person behind the wheel, we'll lock it, and he or she won't steal it, they won't be dangerous with the equipment, and they'll safely deliver it within the confines of the law. Those promises are not easy to deliver, so there's an inherent value because the streams of commerce end up in a real economic and determinable way, flushing out non-essentials. There's always a novelty in the market. It doesn't matter, but America has become, oh my goodness, consumers of the novelty like nobody else. But an example of it is doing the dishes versus buying paper and plastic. What's wrong with wooden bowls and slowing down and figuring out how to pray, enjoy, and contemplate? Because the amount of waste and consumption that we do is a problem, but yet it doesn't diminish the fact there's other majorly valuable essential goods that have to be delivered in the streams of commerce. You need that steady, safe, consistent flow of products because this is an industrialized country. Now, I'm a Commonwealth kind of guy, and I'm not a communist. But it can be pretty close if you're not careful until you hear the conversation to understand why we have Commonwealth states. Like land is Commonwealth, so the Indians, in a sense, are Commonwealth because they share by tribe and have chieftain order, and there's maps of that, of course, Vikings were on this land before. But anyway, the point is, in an industrialized country, you certainly have a different setup, and people are pursuing happiness still through natural law, but it does focus more on personal relationships. So I think running a good company, providing a valuable service is vital to being a person of faith. You're exercising your faith in the real world, and you're okay with common value markets. Your time has value, but let's not kid ourselves. You could wake up tomorrow and be penniless, or wake up the day after and have won the $1 billion lottery. Life or discovered you the heir of a company that the guy or gal died and left you control. Or you wake up and you're in the kingdom of Jesus. Or you wake up and your whole nation's been politically disbanded and new form of government's put in place. The economy's not going to go away. People still need to purchase essential goods, and those all get delivered in industrialized nation on the truck. So be mindful, do the right thing the right way every time. And I'm telling you, God has not created a world of lack. He's created a world of overflow and excess. And that's why there's even a lot of money in waste mitigation trying to figure out, because we have such a plentiful nature here in America with regards to personal wealth and what to do with our cushion money. And so I want to encourage Americans to continue to practice your faith and believe God that He provides, but also believe God provides He's blessing you so you can be a blessing to others. My mentor, Myron Allenstein, the law, among several others, Frank Bailey, Tim McGee, there's some Annie Clay Hornsby. He always said, you're blessed to be a blessing. And that really settled in with me. And I think people are not aware of how you're supposed to live for the moment, the hour, the day, and tomorrow. Then get with your experts, plan your month, year, 10 years, 100 years, 500-year impact, and your eternal impact. That's how you have to think. But you have to work in this moment. And mentors like Myron, this guy would gather kids in the hood. Okay, Myron had some probably Hispanic in his background. He looked a little bit Italian in a way. He would stand up with cowboy boots on, play the guitar, never took up offering for those children after he fed them. And he would sing, Father Abraham has many sons has Father Abraham. For you. So let's just praise the Lord. See, at our core, we need to understand we're children of faith, so it gives a dignity shift when you appreciate that. And everybody has dignity. And I remember when I was a kid, I've always seen light inside of people. They've been very sensitive to darkness. And so those are the role models you want to follow after and be like. People who are thinking for the moment, what God will me to do, the hour, the day, tomorrow, and then with others, gathering 2 or 3 others every single day, and ideally 70 once a week you're getting together with. That's the corporate worship. Even if you're going, I'm just telling you, I'm a Catholic, but if you're going to a Hindu temple or a Jewish synagogue or I'm saying it, people get mad about it, a mosque, I think it's healthier to practice the Abrahamic faith as it is than to not practice a faith. And because Christianity and traditions teach everybody gets subsumed into the kingdom that is pursuing the light they have for the day, then it becomes very evident that the will of God is for you to accept you're an immortal, created to be loved by God for all of eternity. And common duties are common to us all. So enjoy life. Brother Philip Ellen say to me, somebody has to do the laundry and take out the trash. And they're usually not the same person. This guy was the same preacher, and I loved him, his Baptist preacher. But I got to get off this tablet. I don't want to be messing with you all. Let's just say for the exit on the shoulder. But he would tell people in church, if you beat your wife and she comes to me, I'm going to go bust you in the nose, something to that effect. And you know he was kind of bluffing, but at the same time, Brother Philip might do done something like that because he was that serious about people's soul. And I think that's God's will for each one of us. Track your time, be wise, you have value, know your identity. Best practices still work. Peace be with you, but don't let the glitches, don't let them mess you up. Talk to people, get their names and build a relationship, and just be able to put memo notes in there and explain it. Bye for now. Trucking with Surviving and thriving.